Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm so excited. Today is the online course creation bootcamp here in Perth, Western Australia. And today's the first day of 2 solid days of course planning. So all of the participants coming in today are actually going to plan out their whole entire course. They are going to make sure they've got all their learning outcomes together. They're going to design and plan their course. They're also going to actually film it today as well. I haven't told them how much work they're going to be doing in the studio today. Actually, it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for them. So I'm just going to set up my studio, and I thought there might be some people around that might like to just watch the process of it all being set up. Just if some of you guys are thinking about doing this, perhaps it will show you just how simple this actually is, and I can give you some tips on some of the equipment that I've got if you're thinking about doing some online course creation yourself as well. Hey Karen, how are you doing? Hey John, nice to see you guys. So I'm just going to, first of all, I've got everything kind of just laid out on the floor at the moment. So as I'm pulling pieces of equipment out, I'm going to explain to you what I've got and what I'm doing. The first things I'm actually going to be working on are just putting up all of my frames. So these big, heavier frames are going to be what the actual back screen, the backdrop's actually going to be held up by. Hey Tony, how you doing? And hey Dan. So what I'm doing now is, guys, I'm just getting this whole studio ready. We're actually in a big training room, which you can't see here at the moment, but we're setting up one whole side of the training room with the green screen studio so that the guys can basically, as they're preparing each part of their course, they're actually going to get up and start filming it too. And we're actually then going to be teaching them how to use green screen editing, film editing software. So they're going to even learn how to edit their own green screen videos today. So they are going to be completely independent course creators. So I'll just keep you tipped around. So what I'm doing first is putting up these frames. Guys, these are amazing. I'll just show you. I've actually got my entire studio in a suitcase. It's quite a big surf suitcase, but this is amazing because I can literally take my studio anywhere in the world with me, which is just fantastic. Tegan, thank you so much for the room. I just want to do a shout out to Tegan from OzQ Training. Without them, we wouldn't have a facility. So thank you so much, Tegan, for always being our training room backup buddies. Loving it. So first thing I'm going to do is pop up these big heavy frames, and then what we've got is, once we've got those two sort of main stands either side, we're then going to set up the stand that we're going to thread the green screen through, which is basically just a big material sheet. So we're just going to connect up these together. And I've even brought an iron with me to the training room today because if you have any creases or crinkles in your green screen, when you come to do editing, you're going to have an absolute nightmare, because what happens when you have crinkles is that it creates shadows. So when you're trying to remove the green screen and replace that with either film footage or your PowerPoint slides, you're going to have this horrible fuzzy mark. So I've come into the training room today with my iron. Yep, that's how we roll. Right, so as you can see, this green screen, it just simply threads onto this pole, and we just drop it on top. It's just got some little holes on top that the frame sits on, and then we'll lift that up higher later on. So what else are we going to get ready? We've got to get our lighting ready. So I always carry my lights around inside their boxes. These are fantastic. I've taken these internationally. They've been chucked around in luggage compartments and they've never broken. In fact, the only time they've broken is when I've been an absolute numpty and dropped them on the floor. These are really simple. They screw in. They're quite cheap, guys. About $40 for two sets of lights. And these are the lights themselves. So as you can see, these fold up really nicely, so they're nice and compact. You can take them traveling with you. You simply open these up, and then inside you just push that really hard inside itself. Kabam. And then very gently screw your light bulb in once you've got it on your frame. So this just simply has a little hole in the end, and it sits on top of that frame. It just slots on top, and you screw that bad boy into place. So just to give you guys some idea of pricing, those of you watching, There is obviously, like everything, there is the like upper end high price ranges for all this kind of filming equipment. And then there is the price range that everyone can afford. Guys, I bought this stuff when I was just starting out, so I didn't want to go investing into really expensive equipment until I knew I was going to really enjoy doing this and continue doing it for myself rather than outsourcing it. So I bought the Everyone Can Afford It kit. Now I got, for the Everyone Can Afford It kit, I got 2 of these lights on their frames. I got the frame for the green screen. By the way, that does lift up. You don't have to like film on your knees. It came with the green backdrop, the white backdrop, and the black backdrop. It also came with the bulbs, the 2 sets of lights, and the stands that the lights are on. Guess how much? 256 Australian dollars. That's simple, right? So I know not everyone has that amount of money spare in their bank account, but the thing is, I was at the time hiring out this work, and it was costing me in excess of 2,000 Australian dollars a day. Okay, so, and that didn't even include all of the costs for the film editing and everything afterwards. So that's why I decided, look, I'm going to invest in my own stuff. For 256 bucks, I got a studio. Obviously, on top of that, you then need to buy the camera equipment and the microphones and everything, which I'll show you shortly. But I'm just going to continue to getting this set up. Well, I'll just let you guys hang out there for a bit while I do that. Just getting my screen up nice and high for the tall people. So that easy. So you can see there, guys, a couple of minutes. I've got that set up, got my lights ready to go. One here. Gonna just lift that up. One of the mistakes I've made is not making the legs spread out enough at the bottom, because what happens is these lights, once you've screwed the bulb in, can be a little bit heavy. So if you haven't spread the legs out enough at the bottom there, they can just topple over. That has happened to me before. Tony says, good thing you're not shooting blue screen. Yeah, I know, that would be kind of weird. I do have a dress the same as this that's green. That would be awkward. Be like the Invisible Man. So right, what else have we got here? I've got another light to do. So I'm just going to get that bad boy together. So again, really, really simple. Nice, and see how it's just nice and compact. Pull him out. Push him in. That easy. Another stand for this light. Just pull him out. Lisa, you're the greatest mentor. Oh, Lisa, you're like one of my earliest students I ever had. Like that must have been, God, how long ago would that have been? Probably about, would have been close to about 8 years now. I can't even remember. It was a long time ago. Good old days in Tivy. Oh, was it Honiton? It was Honiton, wasn't it? Okay, so just popping this guy on the frame and getting him tightened in. So you can see, guys, it's really not that hard at all. If you're capable of tightening up a screw, you can set up your own studio. So how many people are coming to my bootcamp today? We did have 12 registered, but a few had childcare issues, so we've had to, they're coming into the February bootcamp instead, because we've got one in February. So I've actually got, I think 6 actually coming in person today, and we've got a couple that are going to be coming on the live stream in the private area. So I think 8 altogether. Right, so this bulb here is just going to screw in. And you've got to be really careful with this, because once I thought it was screwed in, and it actually wasn't, so when I moved the light, the bulb fell out and smashed on the floor. So I always have a backup of loads of bulbs. You can get these bulbs for fairly cheap, so I always just make sure I've got loads of them, because they will smash at the most irritating moment. How are we going? We're nearly there. Look, you can see we've got a bit of a studio coming together. Ta-da! Just going to stick the light in this guy. Give it a little wiggle about, make sure it's in nice and tight. Put him over here. Okay, what else have I got now? Guys, as well, what comes with this kit are the softbox frames here. So these basically just fit over the front of the lampshade. It just really softens out the light so it doesn't look so harsh on your skin. I don't actually use these very often. I quite like the bright light. But they come with the set anyway, so it helps out. Next, we have the camera. So, this is the only stand that's actually different. All of the other stands just have on top of them, like this kind of screw set, because on top of that you can put your lights, you can put your frames, you can put a plate if you've got a teleprompter stand. Where do I normally buy the globes? I get mine off eBay. I normally get mine delivered from China. They take about 6 days to arrive in Australia, something like that. So yeah, roughly speaking, depending on the deal you get, it's about $40 or something for two, roughly. So yeah, all of them have that, just this this kind of top on them. So the frames, the stands that you buy are very multi-purpose. You can pretty much use them for anything. The only things that are different are this camera stand here. I mean, it does actually just have a screw on it anyway, but it has a proper like seat for the actual camera itself. So yeah, we'll pop that up there. I'm gonna click off now because I'm gonna get this ironed out. I've got my sexy iron with me, make that nice and flat so we don't get any horrible shadows or anything on that frame, and I'll check back in with you guys later on. But I hope that's given some of you an insight into just how simple this actually is. It's not as scary and overwhelming as you think. You don't have to be techie to be able to do this stuff at all. It's just screwing a bunch of things on top of other things and threading a bit of material on a pole. That easy. So have an awesome day, guys. We're going to be doing lots of course creation here today. We'll probably have some other live streams coming at you later on, just to give you some behind the scenes of what's going on in Bootcamp. So have an awesome day, and check in with you later. Bye.